got it into subtopics, and the thumbnail should also work. So it should be like pretty simple to like upload content, which is good.
Yeah, that's the
But it
goal.
means that we have to be a little formulaic in how we do things.
Okay.
Um, all right, welcome to the Way Forward. This is a podcast where we talk about all things AI. I'm Dennis. I own a host of cleaning companies and an AI consultation business. And Michael?
Hey, I'm Michael. I'm what you call, or what you would call an accelerationist. So I believe technology is the way forward. I believe that technology is how we get people out of poverty. And I'm always, pretty optimistic about the future with technology. I hope, it helps people get out of poverty, makes people happier, and just we live a more healthy life and we proceed, forward towards the singularity or some form of, abundance for most people.
Max?
Hey, my name is Max. I'm here because I have been personally stalking AI for 20 years, and I am pretty much convinced that our world is going to fly to shit in the next year. So I'd like to discuss that as it's occurring. So please join us.
Yeah. Yeah. And let us begin. And I think that's kind of like this is the way I've been framing like what we're gonna do. So the singularity, the metaphor being like a singularity is a black hole, no light gets around it so that you can't see what's on the other side of it. And so this AI like exponential path that we're on is a singularity in the sense that we don't know what it's going to do to our societies or ourselves as individuals. Is that fair to say?
Yeah,
That sounds about right.
yeah,
And
I'll
so I
definitely
think
say so.
I think it's bait, and I always say if anybody says they know what's going to happen, they're a liar. Um, but what the kind
Liar,
of things that
delusional.
what I think is the way that I frame it, what I think is going to happen, and again, I think it, I don't know it, is you're either going to have like a Star Wars future where things are kind of like post, I mean, things are still scarce, it's like gritty and fighting for everything, or it's a like a Star Trek future where things are it's post scarcity. So abundance is
Mm.
everything's abundant, and you don't need to do anything to get whatever you need.
Yeah, that's a beautiful point because I think we might have both in like different timelines. So like
I
maybe a
think, yeah.
Star Wars future first, then a Star Trek. After we've like killed so many people, I'm like, what are we doing, dude? Like, let's think. Then we probably proceed to like, a Star Trek future where it's like, okay, we're human beings now. Like we have technology. Let's not use it to like do the same things we've been doing for hundreds and thousands of years. It's like, okay, we have better technology now. But I think in the near future, and probably on Max's side, it's like it's going to shit, dude, and it's going to shit
Fast.
fast. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that definitely could. What does that mean to you, Max? Like, what do you think? What does going to shit look like?
Well, I think it comes down to a real simple concept of change, right? No organization is going to survive this century intact, okay? Especially the ones that were created in the last century. So all the small ones, all the medium-sized ones, they've gone through the adapt or die process, okay, already. Now, what we are remaining are the large, the too big to fail, and they're not going to survive this century. And if they're too big to adapt, it's inevitable that they're going to fail. So that disruption, healthcare, governments, financial systems, those things are so strained, and the people in them cannot adapt quick enough because the organization is too large, and so they are going to die. And that's kind of what the holds our civilization together. So they're big players, they're big pillars, and we're going to be observing their collapse because of this rapid technological change over the next 5 years.
Okay, fair. 5 years. I mean, that's the thing is like it's happening so fast. 5 years kind of seems like a long time right now.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree with everything Max said. This week is probably the week I, for the first time, took like Max's whole cybersecurity thing very seriously. So, like on subsequent, meetings we've had, I've always been the one on the side of, I really just don't care about cybersecurity. Like, I never really clicked to me like why Max was so like on it about cybersecurity because I was just
The
like, dude.
folly of youth.
Yes,
Well,
yes,
Dennis, the two of you are always like, "Hey, why you worry so much?"
yeah. I mean,
Right?
Well,
And
I think no. Go ahead, Mike.
here's what.
Mike.
So you've both, I think, mentioned to me something before. You both said everyone's data is going to be out there, so what's the big deal eventually, right? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so I said yes, I agreed with that. It will eventually because AI is going to crack every single human-made database, right? Any database that was built with human brains, AI is going to crack it. It's going to find the chink in the armor. Hopefully, we get it hardened, but it's going to crack it. It's just a cat and mouse game. Now, here's why it's a concern. All that personal data of ours is out there. If I could just snap my fingers and unlock every one of those databases, civilization would be gone in a year. The leisure life, the civilization, everything we know will be gone in a year.
What makes you say that?
Because if all that information is open, anybody can use it against anyone else. And they have AI to steal with it. So it is an absolute
Oh,
open source on scam. And it will take down every
okay.
institution. The
Okay.
ransomwares, the whatever, it will just be a slaughter of all the entire system. And
Okay.
Yeah,
nothing
So
will be able to keep up with it.
there'd be no like there'd be no gatekeeping
No
um
gatekeeping at
to
all.
like personal private information, funds, assets, the whole thing. You think everything's going to
Assets,
get it's going to
everything.
be
The
a
game is
looting. It's going to
on.
be a mad,
A looting,
a pillaging.
I
a pillaging until
um
there's nothing left.
Max,
Yeah.
yeah, Max, I really appreciate the fact that I don't know, I think you probably had foresight because I think I'm just getting to that point where I'm like, okay, this is real. And like Max is probably not, I was mainly thinking like, okay, Max is just doing the most, man. Like I'm not gonna do the most at Max because like what happened last week was Dennis said he had a phishing attack, right? And
Yeah.
I kind of just took that as like, okay, like that's kind of strange. Like, why you like? So something happened this week where somebody in my family had an attack that did go through,
Oh
right?
shit.
Now they needed me to like actually help them out with like actually figuring things out. So it was like a simple email, right? A simple email, like they said, oh, you're logged out, you need to log in. They put in their email and password probably in like a, portal that wasn't like official. Now the person has their email and password. Now, guess what? Then it's money out of their account. Boom. Because like the moment you have somebody's email and password and you can get into their account, you can get into like, see bank details and all of that. Because like if
Yeah.
you are logged in into somebody's like you just see everything. You see the CVC, you see the account number, you see the institutional number, and you can just go in there. So they literally had that happen this week. But then I was like, okay, maybe that's something. So I had to use like AI to help them out. Like the attack was so strange because it's like this person, it was basic, so it wasn't like anything that had to do with like the underlying. It was just a simple like they forwarded most of the emails that were going into their email to like another email. They changed the language, so it was a bit confusing, and then they go into like the actual emails. They exported all the emails, so it's like saved it probably on their end and. It was like pretty basic. It was like I just had to like do 5 to 10 steps. I didn't have to like go into like the back end or anything. I just had to like log everything out of the account. But it just put into perspective. It's like okay, this kind of stuff wasn't really happening like a year or two ago, like where people like, because like this person wasn't really that sophisticated. They probably used an LLM to like get access to this and like just like do all this stuff. And then it reminded me of you, Dennis. Then I was going through my week, and then I read the like of like I think Vercel got hacked, and they said it was an LLM that got them hacked. So I'm like, okay, that's another point of
Data
context to
point.
put into my mind. And then Google comes out with like this whole report on like how an AI large scale 0 day attack was about to happen. And it's like,
So
wait,
talk, wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. Just break in there for a second. So one, I got a question. How much money did your family member lose?
not too much. It was about like 400, 500, but it got refunded because like all they had to do was call the bank and say cancel the card. So it wasn't
Okay. Good.
crazy. But
And then
it,
get okay,
no,
pardon me. Yeah.
go ahead, go ahead.
I was going to say, so, I mean, obviously it's good. I'm glad that they didn't lose too much money and that you were able to help them out. But what were you talking about? That you're bringing up a Google thing. Can you give us an overview of what it is? Like, give us the 411.
Yes. So I'll try my best to explain it as much as I understand it, but this was like a 0 day attack that Google actually stopped before it could
What
go
does
out.
0 day mean?
Zero Day is kind of an
Sounds like a
attack that
sci-fi
has,
movie.
yeah, it sounds like a sci-fi movie, but Zero Day attack is kind of an attack that has not been identified by the. It's like a way of hacking into somebody's system that has not been identified by the actual creator of like the software or like the hardware platform. And if you find that zero day attack, it's something that can give you access to like just the main back end of, you know, the
Like
actual
full
system
control,
that the
full
person is
access.
using. So yeah,
And like it comes from 0 day, meaning you have 0 days starting now to this attack. It's now. There's no prep time. You got 0 days to
yeah,
prep. Go.
yeah.
Okay.
So it was something that could give them back-end access to every portal of everybody that exists on Google. And Google's like,
Oh,
AI research and like back-end team had to actually fish this out. And they said it's just one of many that are to come. So everything Max has been talking about in terms of like it's gonna really mark the end. Because like if this is now, how is it in 3 to 6 months from now? Because like
100%.
then it's gonna be insane, dude. And
Yeah,
Max is not over exaggerating when he's like, yeah, like no institution is gonna be able to survive this. Because like, how do you survive being attacked? Like it's like now every human being has the power that you like state actors used to have. So how do you
right.
yeah.
survive with like everybody having like CIA level operatives just attacking you? They're attacking you from India, from Africa, they're attacking you from Vietnam, from Thailand, they're attacking you from Russia. And it's just everything. Boom, boom, boom. How do you keep your system safe? Because everybody has, leaks in their system. It's just we didn't have technology to actually
Don't
figure
know
out
where they
those.
are.
Yeah, and it's like only maybe state actors had enough resources and employees to actually, use enough people and human power to actually figure out where those, weak points were in like other people's systems. But now everybody has those. So Max is absolutely right. Nobody is safe. We need to be off the internet as much as possible and like have your stuff just like air gapped because if you're not like you are it doesn't matter if your personal stuff is safe, your bank is probably not that safe, like like your bank is probably not that safe, like the institutions that have your information like the government is probably not that safe, like everything is just accept that if anything is outside of your personal device and it's not air gapped, it's probably going to be opened up in the next 3 to 6 months. I think that's the point we are at now.
Yep. Sounds about right. And so, like, for the past 5 years, I have been hearing daily attacks, right? Because they work in cybersecurity. And, like, I sent you that link to Hack 5. So they actually are a group that I've been following. Every week I get their threat report, threat wire, and I find out who's been hacked, how they're hacked, and hey, does that relate to my customers? So I hear about this so much, I get PTSD from it, right? So what's coming
Right.
is magnitudes higher than what I've been experiencing, and that's why I'm freaking out.
And so okay, what do we do? Like, so I'm a
Well,
business owner, like I've got
yeah,
accounts, I'm a dad, like, okay,
yeah.
so heard. Now what's the next step?
Yeah, so there are hundreds of things you can do. One of the best steps is just start with the big things like strong passwords, stuff like that. That's where it starts. You can ask any AI, hey, how do I harden my personal information? How do I reduce my attack surface area? And it will give you a list of things to do, and you can start picking them off, right? And remember, 80% of these attacks are through people. They're what's called human engineering. They just trick someone like with the email, right? That's 80%
Yeah,
of the hacks. The systems we have are still really tough to hack into. They're really tough. The encryption we've got is fantastic. So most of this hacking is done through people. And it's really a neglected field in the cybersecurity field because everyone's working on locking down servers. That's where the big money is. But no one's paying attention to the endpoints. And so that's where I've been focusing my time.
yeah.
Mm. Absolutely makes sense. I mean, to answer your question, Dennis, in terms of like what I am doing anyways, I'm trying to like localize. So for example, I'm not gonna be like storing my money in my own bank or like keeping money in cash. That's just
Right.
crazy.
Now I gotta DIY a
Yeah.
fucking bank.
Yeah, like that's just
Back to the
like I'm
mattresses.
not
It's
doing
back
that
to the
shit.
mattresses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But apart from like the big stuff, and obviously my data is obviously with the government because I can't de-government myself. It's like I'm not doing that. But
Hey, that's what America, that's the founding of America
I'm
right
moving
now.
down
We're
there,
trying to
man.
de-government ourselves. That's what it means to be an American. Fuck yeah.
yeah, but like,
Okay, pardon me,
is
go
that
on.
even true? Or is that just like an ideology? Because like most people
Uh,
have their information with the government anyways, right?
Yeah, I mean, like in the terms of the spirit, like that, in my opinion, that's one thing that makes Americans generally different. Is like, yeah,
Yeah.
we're like that's we are a spirit of we're a country of revolutionaries, and in 2026, we're probably not doing a very good job of living out that spirit, but that's the founding, yeah. And but no, I think I mean, I think in terms of the world, Americans are just as cooked as anybody in that regard about
Yeah.
being intertwined with the government, except we
Yeah.
got guns.
I mean, fair point. Yeah, so to answer your question, like what I'm doing is like, well, then it's a thing of capital. But as soon as you get some capital, I think getting local storage is good. Like, not
Yeah,
even anything crazy, but just like maybe a terabyte or two of just like hard storage that is not connected to the internet that you can like just store data on and like keep as much data as you can. Because like what Max said, it's just making so much sense to me at this point. I don't know why sometimes it just takes you a while to like actually understand.
it
And
does.
like I was just, in my own head, because like I was like, dude, I'm not doing more than all these people. But I think you have to do more than like the other people, because the other people are protecting themselves. They're not really like protecting to like they might protect their customers for sure, like if you're with AWS or Amazon or whatever or Google or whatever. But like you have to also take your own stuff because like everybody, like, if they get an attack that they can't possibly just see coming or like they didn't expect or they didn't anticipate, it's like you don't want to be at their mercy. Like you want to be able to like, okay, have a second backup. You have your data,
Yeah,
you have your own,
yeah.
like even up to the point whereby you have probably your own like back source of like inter. I don't know why you'd need it, but like you just have like Wikipedia on like a hard drive or something. It's just like,
Grokpedia,
I got
baby.
Wikipedia on a stick, baby.
yeah,
Okay,
like
hey,
you just
another one of
need
these things.
shit.
Another one of these things that Dennis was asking about. Here's another thing. So, the thing is, getting your data, existing data off the internet is a great thing to do. You got so many old accounts, all this stuff you've kind of neglected and left online, right? Well, you can get services like, for example, Delete Me, Incogni. They will go through and they will scan the internet for your data and get it removed. They'll even send letters of request to the webmasters to say, "Hey, I want my data taken off this site." Blah, blah, blah. And, right. So you can. There are services like that. It's actually one of the businesses I was thinking about doing because I think it's going to be phenomenally popular in the next year. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've
Remember
heard
that.
about Delete Me for sure, and even Incogni. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like they just have to go out there and just delete as much information as
But like we
possible.
could build a software like that quite simply. It's just a matter of,
Right,
yeah,
exactly. Is
it's
that
a
that's
simple
the project
build.
for next week
Yeah.
then, huh? Let's talk about
Yeah,
this again
exactly.
next week and like I'm gonna work on a
Yeah.
prototype here in a minute, guys.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I heard about the so Dad, I got backups, but what I did for so I called the phone company and said and I turned off SIM like export.
Good.
So like no like in order to take the SIM out of off of T-Mobile, I have to show up in person and show somebody an ID.
Yeah. And then
So I
when you
added
request
friction. I
it,
added friction to the
added
process for
friction.
me, like
That's
if I
right.
ever wanted to do it. Right.
Yeah.
And then the bank, I did the same thing. I called the bank, and I told it's not the same thing, but I locked my bank account down with a PIN that nothing can change unless that PIN is given, like over the phone verbally to a person. Like that's how it works. It's not like inputting on a PIN, but it's like if I want to change my phone number on my bank, if I forget this PIN that I set, then I have to go into the branch and reset my PIN.
Good. Good.
So, but so
So
like
what
storage
you're
is
doing
one thing. Go
what
ahead.
you're doing is just trying to make sure you're not the lowest hanging fruit, right? You just kind of update your security, and what that just raises your security level, and you're not going to be the low hanging fruit that the hackers are going after, right? You just kind of
Right.
each of these levels makes you a little safer. Just stack them.
Yeah. Right. Exactly right. Little things step by step. Maybe that's kind of something we could talk about on the regular, like talk about cybersecurity, like what's one little thing that you could do that
Yeah,
seems like
right. Because lots of things.
yeah. But talking about so maybe moving on to topics, moving on to the next topic.
Sure.
So this is kind of like a dystopian like potential of maybe not even I mean, again, I stick by if you anybody who says they know what's going to happen is a liar or a charlatan. So but in terms of it's in terms of likelihoods and we all agree that like what we just talked about is high likelihoods like increase in attack and that kind of thing. But it's dark. And so but the other side, like what's the positive? Because there's people that talk about it, and I'm not sure how to believe them. I'm a capitalist, I'm a conservative, and so when people like, there's always a the sky is falling anytime new technology comes. There's always that just that's what happens. And most of the time, after the initial disruption of a year or 3 or 5 or whatever it is, like long term, it's a net benefit to society, right? Like the classic example of like the horse industry basically got eradicated by cars, and we're okay. Um, and so people say that about AI. It's the same thing. Yeah, maybe yes, maybe no. I think it's different because it's across the board in a lot of different ways. And it's across multiple industries at the same time and multiple verticals at the same time. It's just massive. So it might be, I think it's going to be different in that way. But like on the bright side, so applying like kind of like, so I keep saying like I like to think about AI not as artificial intelligence, but as applied intelligence, right? And that's what AI is, applied intelligence. And so then the obvious question is, and Max, you will relate to this by some of your art. How do you apply the the how do you apply the intelligence? And so people are talking about applying the intelligence um, to like medical research and whatnot. And so like there's people like because there's people who study um, longevity, literally the science of age. There's people trying to figure out why you get old and how do you slow it down and then eventually stop it. And so there's people who are saying like if you don't die of something stupid in the next 5 years, chances are like you're just gonna watch your lifespan just continue to extend by 5 and 10 and 20 years at a tranche. So you're like you end up living to like 130, 140. I mean, I don't even know what it is, but like, and so along with that comes with like appointing the intelligence, applying the intelligence to like disease. And so there's people that are applying AI to like cures for cancer and things like that. And I just think I think we're on the cusp where it's like, and you were talking about this before, Michael, like this optimism of like, well, oh my God, what are we going to be able to figure out? And I think like we really might be at the stage of where like human lifespan just like, doubles, triples, quadruples. I mean, it's science fiction, but yeah, we might be at that moment of like launching into science fiction.
Yeah, I have a few things to say about this, and I'm excited this topic came up. What you're talking about is called longevity escape velocity. So it's
Okay,
basically
it's got a name, God damn
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's basically like the point whereby every year we live, we understand a few more things about, death and like why cells age and all of that stuff. So every
Right,
single year that you add in like the next 3 to 5 years, you can figure out a way to extend life by a year, then 2 years, then 3 years, then 4 years, then 5 years. And
right,
as we go on, we just figure out how to actually tweak the aging gene or DNA or settings or whatever it's called, and we can actually fix it so that people do not actually age. Now that's like the end point, but it's like slowly but surely we're getting to the point whereby we're gonna be able to figure all that out because like this is something that like Rick, I don't know if you guys know who Rick Kurzweil is, but he's like this
yeah,
futuristic. Yeah, he talked about like it, like he says, we're gonna figure out like actually because he thinks, the whole body is just a whole function of like codes or like how our body works is like basically understanding like the codes and the functions that each cell does. And if we can manipulate those, we'd be able to reverse engineer everything. So his whole thing is like in the next 5 to 10 years, we're gonna figure out aging and we're gonna figure out death, and that's where it's gonna go from there. And I probably subscribe to that idea. I feel like, for
I
people
think
that are
so.
like under 30, it's like there's most a likely possibility that we would never age to like 40s or 50s. It's like insane. I'd be telling my parents this stuff, but I don't know if like it sounds insane and it sounds like
It
science
sounds
fiction,
insane. It sounds insane.
but I
It
feel like
is
we're
because
already
it
living
is
in
science
science
fiction.
fiction. Like this is
Yeah,
science fiction that we're doing right now. I mean,
yeah.
I'm talking to you. You're in the US right now. Like, Max is in like, probably 10
I'm across
kilometers
town
away
from
from
you.
me. Like, yeah. Like this is science. We are science fiction people. Like we fly in the air
Right.
tens of thousands of miles. Like we
Mm.
drive cars that some of them drive themselves. Like dude, like we are science fiction people. So when people say, "Oh yeah, that sounds like science fiction," it's like, dude, look around you. This
Yeah.
is science fiction.
Yeah, we're living it, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to hear about the latest benchmark test? Like I've got these benchmark tests I've used over the years on AI to try to, you know, the Turing test, it blew that one away, right? One of the tests, and I've had for a long time, to be honest, I've been afraid to give AI this test because I didn't want to know the answer, but
Okay,
I
give me
gave
one
it the
second.
test. So he's gone.
I
Hey,
think he
I
had
don't
something
mean
to do with his
stop,
mute.
but like I gotta take care of
Oh,
something. I'll just continue on. Like I'll just jump in as I can. Okay.
okay. All right. So, yeah, how's it going?
It's going okay. Do you want to continue with your what's it called?
Yeah, but I want Dennis to hear this too, because I need both
Okay.
of your inputs. I want to hear your feedback because I gave it the test and I want you to tell me whether it passed
Just
the
a
test or
second.
not. So I gotta wait for Dennis.
No problem.
But
We'll
yeah,
wait
so
for it.
that future, yeah, it's going to be there. I'm sorry, it's coming. The only problem is
Yeah.
just getting through the disruption that we have in the next 5 years,
How do you
right?
think it's gonna play out though? I feel like in the next 5 years, it's when like the people that are forward looking are seeing things coming. I don't think it's gonna hit most people in the next. I don't think like the average person is gonna like know or even see what hit them in the next 3 to 5 years. Or do you think it's gonna hit them?
It's gonna take them by surprise. Yeah.
Like, in what ways do you think like they would notice that something has changed?
You really don't see anything unless you're in the industry. If you're in the industry, you see it all the time, right? We hear about the changes all the time because we're always in tech. We're hearing the stories about tech, but they don't hear that. And this, they can't see it in the world around them, even though it's infiltrating all their devices and all their networks and communications, but they can't see it. They don't know it's there, so they have no way of perceiving it.
Yeah, but
And
when do you think it gets to them?
the scams, right? We've had so many scams, and I've had so every time I
Right.
talk to customers, they've all got a story of being scammed. Every single one of my customers. So it's coming. And that's probably the first thing they're going to notice, like,
That's
holy
how they
shit, how'd they
become
get
your
into this?
customers, is they start looking for you because that happened to them.
No, they're just existing customers who say this happened to them
Oh,
and they ask me about it, right? They send me a message, hey, this happened. Should I click on this? Should I do this? So I give them a recommendation. But anyway, you want to start the other thing? Because this is a really important test, a benchmark that I've been avoiding.
okay. So this is
So
so this is your benchmark, your Turing test.
my
So that like,
benchmark.
is this thing alive? Is that the question you're trying to answer? Or conscious?
No, this is not.
What's the question that the
So
benchmark
remember
is
before
answering?
the other benchmark. Okay, so you guys are really freezing up on me.
Yeah, it
So
looks like it's
Yeah.
your
the
end.
thing is, it's my end. Yeah. Oh, I lost Wi-Fi. AI doesn't want me to mention this. Yeah.
Oh God, no, what? Stay tuned.
Yeah.
No, it's
AI has
better
cut
now.
me
Just
off.
go for it,
It doesn't
Max.
want me to
Like
know. Okay,
we'll
just go
just
for it.
struggle through it.
Okay,
We'll just struggle through it. It's all good.
I've been telling people for 20 years, don't worry, software AI, it can't create. It can't create things of value on its own. All right. People use AI to create with, but AI can't create things on its own that people find valuable.
So it's like a
Okay.
function. It's a function it can't do yet, right? It's
That's
like
right. It's a forward thing where you create on your own and you know what people will like and you create that. And so for the longest time, I've been telling people it can't do that. Don't worry. However, there's this test that I want to give it, and I gave it to a couple days ago, and this solution. You tell me if it passed the test, okay?
so. And
So
the question,
I
so the
asked it,
test
can
is,
you
did it
create things
create
that don't
something?
exist now?
Oh,
No,
pardon me.
here's what I did. Yes, that's right. The test is, did it actually have a creative process that humans have been a monopoly on forever? So here it is. Can you create things that don't exist now that humans would value? That was the prompt. I asked Grok. Okay.
Okay.
Here's what it came up with. A physical product, uh, called the Echo Weave jacket. It doesn't exist. The core innervation, the outer
Echo
fabric,
weave
contains
jacket.
thousands of microwave vibrational threads, piezoelectric,
You're cutting out.
memory-shaped alloy. When you receive a phone call, a message, or navigation instruction, the jacket subtly create patterns, hypnotic patterns on your skin that gently tap your shoulder for a left turn or a warm pulse for good news incoming. No screen, no earbuds, no voice, just private, glance-free communication. The unique value works in loud environments during workouts, meetings. Battery lasts, they can be thin, flexible cells in the hem. It can last 5 days. Machine washable, threads are sealed, privacy mode for only you to get signals. Why humans would value it. It would reduce phone addiction, improves safety, cyclists, parents, travelers, and almost feels like a sixth sense. The price point would be $179 after mass production. I can refine this into a full style patent description or a
Holy
business plan if you
shit.
want. Now, did
Are we
that
gonna
pass the
build
test?
it?
Like, did it pass the test? Did
Yeah,
it
I
create,
think it did.
right? It fucking blew
And
it away, didn't it?
without question. I mean, assuming that that actually doesn't exist,
It
assuming that
doesn't.
that's true,
The technology does, but not the product.
okay?
Well, but also there's no way to actually clarify that it didn't exist somewhere on the internet before you asked that question. So you just
That's right.
brought up. So it's like, it could have been on some archive, published in Russia in like freaking 2007. And it's like, okay, it just figures it out. But also, I would also say, it's definitely possible that it definitely came up with something by itself. Because I also ultimately think that AI was always going to be creative and it was always going to be able to create. So even with this,
So we've reached that point now, is what I'm saying. Because I haven't seen that point until now. So have we passed that point that it can
I
now create on its own?
I, gue- I guess you'd have to verify if it actually created that thing on its own. And Michael
yeah.
What
brings
it
up a
didn't,
good
it
point.
created the
Like, is it
idea.
right?
But like, did
But
it exist before?
did that idea exist somewhere? Did somebody like talk about that idea somewhere on a blog, on an obscure blog somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like that's the thing, right? It's like,
We'd
that's the
have to
thing.
verify that that's true. I mean, it's all yeah, it's
yeah.
Okay,
okay.
do you want to hear another one?
But in the spirit of it, yeah, I think so, Max. Like there might be a technicality of did it exist or whatnot, but like
Right.
the idea of like, so what I can see, like, I mean, but it's also like an algorithm. Like if you say the technology exists, okay, then it's like take existing technology. It's like it's almost like an algorithm. Go find like like recent technological upgrades or advancements, and then just like look at existing applications, and then just like iterate ideas on other applications. And then
Right. So
bingo, you
this
have like a
is
thousand different products. But this is also the capitalist mindset. This is why people say, "Oh, don't worry about the horses. Things are you can't imagine you cannot imagine what we'll think of next." That's like the positive version of it, right? Well, you don't know, and this is an example of it. If you can turn like you just turn like you apply the intelligence to like look at things a certain way to come up with ideas, and then you think, oh, that's a good idea, let's just execute it.
That's right. So this was something that was only humans could do, but I think that software has somehow passed it. I think now software is capable of it. Do you want to hear
Yeah, I
another
think it
one?
was inevitable that like AI was
I
gonna
did.
out innovate humans. I just think
Okay.
like I kind of always had that point of view because I just thought
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what
You
humans
think
did
it
was
will or will not?
no, I think it even if it hasn't yet, it will, but I think it already
Okay.
has.
Okay.
Like I think it
Okay,
already
here's
has, and it probably, will ultimately continue. Because like I always thought, like human innovation was basically about, kind of seeing ideas, but it's not like one person uniquely created things. It's just like people just like adding things from different angles, like the engine probably existed outside of the horse. Like there was the steam engine that was, powering mines, and then the steam engine was added to like a cart, and then it was like, made into a car or whatever. So it's like pulling
Right.
ideas from different
Right.
places.
Yeah,
So
exactly. That's creativity.
yeah, so yeah, definitely. So like, with electricity, it's like, electricity was made, for, pumping water and like, moving grains along the whatever, just ma machine stuff, and then electricity was then figured out, okay, how do we convert this into like a light bulb or a light source? And then you have Edison and his people. So it's just like I feel like technology has always been combining, contrasting. It's not really like one
Yeah,
person doing all of the things. So I
right.
always thought AI was
Okay.
always going to get to this point for sure.
Okay. Here's another one. Okay. So that's one. Here's another one. Okay. So this one is just a game idea. Okay. It's called Memory Palace Echoes, a brand new single player plus multiplayer game that doesn't exist. Concept: you explore uh, procedurally generated memory palaces, 3D versions of real places from your own life or famous historical ones. The twist: every object you interact with records a short voice memory you speak aloud. Later, the game randomly plays those memories in distorted or emotionally altered ways. Happy memory becomes melancholic, etc. Your game is to rebalance the palace by correcting or embracing the changes. The mechanics: AI generates the distortions based on voice tone analysis. Multiple friends can visit each other's palaces and leave echo gifts. Ends when you accept your evolved version of your own memories. Why is this valuable? It combines nostalgia, therapy, creativity, and light gameplay. Could be deeply moving or hilariously surreal, perfect for VR or mobile.
Wow. It sounds like a really cool idea. I mean, both of these ideas are good ideas.
They're
The-
good, creative
At first
ideas that we
glance,
would find
yeah, at first
value.
glance.
I do agree.
That's cool, man.
Shit. I was hoping you
Is
wouldn't
that,
agree.
but so
Fuck.
like, what about the idea of so like, so then I was kind of like talking to my wife yesterday. Like I was telling you guys, like it's a, like slow to start, like the 0 to 1 stage is rough. Uh, and so like second guessing, doubting, whatever. But it's like I just want to go faster. I feel like we're in like like we said from the beginning, like sprint, right? And so I've been thinking more. It's like, well, maybe it's something like this where you use AI, we use AI to create a product or an idea or whatever, and then execute it and like and make like a consumer facing product.
Yeah. I agree. Um, yeah, it's just about like then it comes down to like taste. What ideas do we actually choose to pursue? Because like AI has a lot of ideas, but like it's like in real life, you can have the great idea, you take it to the market, and dud. It's like nobody wants that. And this is something that
Yeah.
people play with all
Sure,
the
but
time.
what
So it's
if
like,
AI is running your marketing, right?
But
Jesus.
it's an iterative, anytime you bring something to market, it's an iterative process.
yeah,
So, but and normally it takes this, it's this, it takes all this time. But if you can shrink the iterative process to this time, then it's just like tuck, 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 winner, tuck, 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 winner. You see what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah, for
fail,
sure.
fail, fail, winner, fail, fail, winner, winner. And you get, I mean, you see what I mean?
All right, sure thing.
Um,
So let's move up. Let's move up the ladder then. We already have, ideas. Let's say Dennis has 2 to 3 ideas. Max has, 5 ideas. I have 5 ideas, whatever. So it's like we have ideas now. The next layer of the stack is okay, we're gonna build. So we're gonna decide on like let's say 3 products to build, right? Okay, build this product. Like you already talked about the delete me stuff, and other stuff for like one of these. Like so there's going to be all of these ideas, right? So that's the next step. It's like, okay, build a product, which is already pretty easy. The next step is get it to market, right? So, for example, you've already built Bella and you're on the get it to market step of the Bella stuff. Like you could build another product, you could build another product, but it's like get it to market. How do we play that? Get it to market, get users, get first feedback so we can even iterate on it to even figure out if it's a winner or not. That's like the next step in the whole thing. And it's like if we don't figure out that next step, then it's like all of the other steps is
so
like it's cool, but what we
if
missing?
if it was like if it was that, if that was the thing, say
Bottleneck.
yeah, the bottleneck. Pardon me, I'm getting some messages that I gotta deal with.
All right.
So um so the delete me, right? So but it's also like so you build it, the service, work out the tech, connect payment processors to it, banking to it, and then it's ready to go. And then it's just like waiting there, you need to point traffic to it. So, but you also want to iterate it. You also want to like you want to work out the bugs. And so you need like a niche audience where you basically like give it away or like a trial or something like that. And in like in exchange for testimony or something, you collect content that you're going to later use for a machine that you just and then go to market. Then like I mean, it's just paid. I mean, it's like it's paid ads or it's cold outreach or like you know what I mean? Like if
But
there's a
that's the thing,
budget,
right? Because like you're trying to do that with Bella right now. So like with
I'm
Bella,
not
you've
currently
created.
trying to do it. No, I have not. I've not put a proper attempt onto it in that regard.
Okay. But like with Bella, you have a product, right? And you
I
I've
could do
reiterated
it.
it and like you want to figure out how to go to market with it. So it's like the next step is, okay, we have this product. How do we actually get clients on it? And I feel like that is, like that's where I've struggled with. So maybe you not
Yeah.
nobody else might struggle with that point. But it's like
Oh
you
yeah.
have this
Nobody.
product, you think it's good, you think it's great, you have other competition in the market, like people that are building, no matter what product you're gonna build, apart from like the new ones that AI is gonna suggest, which is like, okay. But whatever product you're going to build, there's going to be competition. So it's like, okay, you've figured out the first step, you've built the product, you've reiterated it, now you need clients. How do we get those clients? Because it's like, I don't know, I haven't figured it out. Because it's like, you could do paid ads,
Right.
figure that out, but it's like with paid ads comes cost. So, like, how many thousands of dollars are you willing to invest to get your first 10 clients? And also,
Right.
we
You need
have
a
three to
budget.
five products. So it's like, how much
Or you
capital are
just
you
or
willing to
you
put?
what you so it's the next step in the funnel, right? So what we need is that we need to iterate testing in a market, right? Because so if it's delete me, it's like we have to like figure out if people actually want if the market actually wants to buy it.
Yeah, so how do you do that?
Right.
So
I don't
if
know.
we keep doing this little podcast thing and it starts picking up people subscribing and following, that automatically generates the people who want to test it because we'll discuss the idea. They would, oh, I want to try this. This is what they're creating now. Okay, I want to try it. Boom. That's how it would start, right? You have to have attention. You need people's attention, right? It's an attention
Yeah,
economy.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. That's like the biggest leverage point. So, for example, if this podcast had 10,000, 20,000 listeners, it's like, okay, uh, Dennis is going to build this delete me stuff today. And then at the
In the
end of the
description
month,
below.
yeah, at the end of the month, we're going to launch a link. Just try it out. Let us know what you think about it. Boom, you have 10 to 100 users like testing it out. They let you know what the
Yeah.
bugs are. And then you fix it. You're like, okay, then, the next month after that, we're going to be launching a paid product if you actually like the service. Boom, you have your first 1,000 users. It's like, that is how, you can test. Boom, 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 boom. You can just test stuff and like reiterate and reiterate. You have the audience already, which is, in my opinion, the hardest part because building is not going to be hard.
Yeah.
Like connecting payments is not going to be hard. All of that stuff is not going to be hard because everybody can do it. It's like this is the part of our puzzle that we are solving right now, which is attention. Because paid ads is too expensive to be playing around with like different products. It's like we just take this idea we have, you build it in cloud code for a month or two, you figure out, you get people to A/B test it, have like the better test, and then you launch the product to your audience, and now you have your first 1,000 actual paying subscribers. I think that's the way forward. With the way forward is doing the way forward podcast, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's a yes and. I mean, it's a both and. I think that it's a long, but the thing about content like this, I mean, it's not a risk in money, but it is a risk in time.
I
You know what
mean,
I mean?
with paid ads,
Opportunity cost.
with
Yeah,
paid
and
ads,
it's just like there's a lot of, I mean, like, m- maybe the audience doesn't grow very much or very fast.
I mean,
Not to be
fair point.
use, not to
That,
be useful in a business, from a business point of view. You know what I mean?
So we
yeah.
need to get AI to make us a kick-ass podcast, right? We need to have some AI in charge of making this kick-ass and telling us how to make it kick-ass, right? If
Okay.
it can create anything now, it's got that creative ability. It should be able to create us an award-winning podcast, lots of followers.
Okay. I'll
Yeah,
get.
I think.
I kind of disagree
I'll
though.
gener. I'll.
Oh no, no,
I'll
you're not.
work on
You can't
that.
disagree. You're the one that said that AI could do anything
Yeah. No.
creatively.
Yeah,
I'll
for
do. I'm
sure.
serious. I'll make it. I'll like. I'll build it into what I've already got, and I'll like.
Okay,
We'll build plan. All I got to
okay,
do is
we'll
build
test it.
planning into. You got to build planning into what
Yeah,
I've done.
right.
Yeah. I'll have
And
a.
so,
I'll
like
give you a
theoretically,
PDF of
guys,
it.
we could sit here, the three of us, and we could run a $1 billion company just by speaking and have the agents listen to what we say and say, yeah, okay, Dennis says, okay, yeah, do that. I'm doing that now. Boom. And the agents take it and they go, right? And they come back to us when they're done or when they got results. That's where we're
Fair.
going to that point, right?
Yeah,
We just
true.
make decisions on value and they do all the work.
So then, but what about like so podcast? Yeah, we're this is what let's do it. It's fun. It's fun to talk about. It's good.
Fun, right?
We're
Yeah.
all in it right now. Yeah. But in terms of like a business, would you ever, what about not, what's keeping us from like iterating on an idea that we think is going to work and then figuring out how to do it and then just doing it?
Can you expatiate?
Nothing's
What do you mean
stopping
by
us. Yeah.
just doing it?
Because like what, like, I think this is a both and situation is like building content like this, awesome. But and not a but, and like I was telling my wife the other last night, it's just like I'm not going fast enough. You know what I mean? Like I'm just not going fast enough. And I just think there's more that I can do. There's more that like it's like to build or whatever, or just like put, get reps out there. You know what I mean? Instead of like narrowing, you know what I mean? I want to widen, I want more swings.
Okay,
You know
so
what I mean? I want
so
more
so I
at
understand
bats.
what you're saying. Are you saying like, for example, yes, and so podcast is one, but and for you would probably be like, okay, attending more in-person events, probably like cold
Oh
calling,
no, no,
sending
but that's
cold
my thing.
emails.
That's my thing that I'm doing on my own. I mean, I'm talking about us. Like I am doing that. I'm making moves on that. I'm
Okay,
talking about like, hey, here's an idea that looks like it could be a cool product, like the stuff that Max introduced today. We iterated on an idea. I don't know what that is. We iterated an idea. Hey, let's give that a shot and launch it, bootstrap it into a business, at least a product that works from end to end and it can serve a function, solve a problem, and see if we can build that so that it does solves a problem reliably, and then see if we can get one person to buy it.
yeah, okay, fair. So you're coming from a point of self-relying on a podcast where we just build a product first and then figure out how to get clients, and then we'll get one client, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, fair. I mean that's a good point.
As an entre because like the way I see it right now is I think you could spend a week of your life building something that could pay you again, that you could then sell again and again and again and again to. I think the time the risk in time right now is very small. It's probably the smallest it's ever been in the history of humanity.
Right. And so I think to maybe ensure that we have success at this, whatever it is we launch, we all have to really be passionate about it in some sense.
We're all on board. We've all
Right.
had our say.
We have to be on board and we all are interested in this one thing, and that would help as well, I think, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, what time is it? We're over time. Are we
yeah,
wrapping up
we're
here,
like,
gentlemen, or what?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
1:13 right now.
Yeah.
All right, gents.
All
Good
right.
chatting with you.
Yep. See you next week.
Hasta la pasta.
Adios.